you're gonna grab a little piece of paper that you cut into a square, and you want it to attach, okay? You don't want it to come off, all right? Is this good so far? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're gonna pipe a base. People do things different ways. Chef Toba, in one of her books, she actually has this seriously cute idea where they pipe the rose on a Hershey's Kiss. So there's kind of a secret surprise inside the Hershey's Kiss. But the entire Hershey's Kiss, I mean, it's like chocolate, right? So it's gonna be covered by buttercream petals. You're not gonna see it at all, okay? So the base is a base. It's not going to be visible, okay? So I'm going to squeeze like at a 90-degree angle, and I'm gonna kind of squeeze, and I'm gonna come up. That's kind of like making the leaf, right? And then remember how we moved the leaf, we moved our wrist 90 degrees? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make my base, coming up, and I'm gonna move my wrist. Okay, can you pass that around so everybody can see it? And I'll do another one. Okay, like a mound, okay? And the top part has a thin edge. Can you see how it has the thin edge like a rose petal? If it didn't, like if it was a Hershey's Kiss, you'd actually have to pipe a petal on there to hide it, okay? But we want it to look botanically correct. So you first start with enough buttercream that, my goodness, this is not gonna come off, okay? You have to have enough glue that it's not gonna come off, okay? All right, so this is like your glue, okay? Now you press your paper on, okay? And again, this is what we did. We're going to squeeze, nice and firm, no gaps, come up nice and firm, and then I'm moving my wrist 90 degrees, and it kind of pulls it into a blade of a petal, okay? Does everybody see that? Okay. If it literally looks like a petal, you don't have to cover it up. If it didn't, you'd have to cover it up. I'm okay. I can put 3. Okay. So I'm gonna ready to put 3. Remember, you don't ever want smearing old bits of buttercream. Always clean it off with the towel. Okay, I have to push a petal in to connect it. Everybody remembers pushing with rope? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it at 90 degrees to the base. Okay, we all know, oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Yeah. 90 degrees now. I'm gonna push it in and swivel and push it back in, okay? Holding it at 90 degrees. Push, lift, swivel, okay? Push, lift, swivel. Push, lift, swivel, okay? You can kind of see the center starting to evolve, okay? And I will do this whole thing again without stopping, all right? But basically, the petals, except for that last one, is standing pretty upright, okay? Nobody can do this with the pink. It's gonna melt, all right? The meringue buttercream doesn't like this, okay? Now, after you get your bud, okay, if we look at a real rose, the buds are kind of tight, you know, the petals like curled tight. It starts to bloom, okay? So you're gonna add more petals. When you add petals, it doesn't go like abruptly to 45 degrees. It'll look like an airplane, okay? But you know, a little bit more out, a little bit more out, a little bit more out, a little bit more out. Oh, I'm at 45, okay? And then we put the 7 on, a little bit more out, a little bit more out, okay? And you're like, ooh, whoa, I'm kind of like tucking it at 0 degrees underneath there, okay? So that's why we learn those degree things, okay? Let me keep going, and again, I'm gonna do it again from the beginning, and I'll do it with you. But I had 3, right? I'm right-handed. I am swiveling this clockwise. As I do that, I'm pushing in and moving my wrist in the opposite direction. So they're traveling away from each other, okay? When you look at the petal, sorry, here's petal 1, okay? To figure out where the next petal goes, you take this part here, that's the base of the next one. We're gonna go like that. They always overlap. And never like that. That's like missing a petal, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm finding like the rainbow, and I'm saying, okay, that's where I left off, okay? High point, oh, that's my bottom next point. Push it in, but I'm at a 45-degree angle, okay? And look, it blooms a bit because I changed the angle. You don't want to just keep like putting petals, 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 and have it all at 90 degrees because it's not gonna bloom. Why do you care? Why do you want your flower to bloom?
So to look realistic.
Okay, and what else? Why are we doing this in the first place? Besides, we have to. Yeah? You're gonna do cakes, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why are you gonna do cakes?
I like it.
Okay, and what else? You're a billionaire, you don't ever need to make money?
Yeah.
Right, you need to sell cakes. You need to sell more cakes, okay? If people, like, you know, those cake toppers and stuff at a party, they're on the top of the cake for a reason. They're gonna draw the attention of the people. You know, you've all gone and checked out a wedding cake, like, you know, like, oh, what do they got, you know? Right? It draws your attention. So if the flower is bigger and blooming for the amount of labor, it's gonna draw more attention. And if the cake tastes great and it looked great, people are gonna track you down and they're gonna order cakes, right? So you don't wanna do all this work and not have it open, okay? So the only way it opens is you keep changing your angle, right? Remember like how you didn't like the wrist thing, right? It's really awkward to do it here. Well, it's not falling off if all I do is move my nail, okay? So I'm gonna do one from the beginning, all right? And I want you to see how simple it is, and then you're gonna practice it, okay? All right, here we go. Look at the Hershey's Kiss, nice and solid, okay? 1 at 90, 2 at 90, 3 at 90, tiny bit away from it, and I'm kind of like a combo of moving my wrist and moving the nail. And I just keep going around that direction, and it's gonna bloom it more because now I'm kind of tucking it underneath. And that was nowhere near 16 petals, but I'm done. Okay? All right, now there's one thing I wanna say. I added a lot of meringue powder and a lot of powdered sugar to this, okay? But I have a feeling, right? Your hands are warmer than mine, right? Yeah. Okay, that mine is a little frayed because it's my temperature and I'm in the draft. Based on your body temperature, you may have a very smooth effect. Doesn't matter, it's the technique, okay? It's kind of like a combo of you and the buttercream and the temperature of your hands, okay? But sometimes they look smoother than others, but it's just a matter of doing the technique, okay? So everybody like